Hey! All right, guys. So, last week, I released a series of shorts covering the Yamas, and this week I'm going to release a series of shorts covering the Niyamas. I did, however, want to quickly recap the Yamas and give you ways in which you can incorporate them into the life that you're living right now. But I also want to take a moment just to recognize that we all walk different paths. We have different experiences that affect how we see the world around us. And so everything I say, take with a grain of salt, but go ahead and take the questions that I'm asking today and reflect on them yourself and see what your own truth is, which is one of the yamas we will cover momentarily. So the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali were written, 2,000 plus years ago. And Patanjali himself did not write the Yoga Sutras, but he wrote them down. The Yamas are the first branch of the 8 limbs of yoga, and they focus on how we interact with the world around us. They are ethical restraints, things that we should not do when we're interacting with things outside of us. Okay. The first yama is ahimsa, and I have to laugh when I think of this one. It translates to non-harming, but man, I was stuck on this for so long. I was like, okay, I'm going to learn the Yoga Sutras, I'm going to learn the Yamas, I'm going to learn the Niyamas. And I was like, I'm going to sit with whatever Yama or Niyama I'm on for X amount of time until I feel like I can really talk about it. Well, I was stuck on ahimsa for quite some time, not because of the harming externally, but because I realized that my own self-talk, what I say to myself in my mind or behind closed doors, isn't actually the nicest thing. I don't really say a lot of nice things to myself. And so I sat on this for a while trying to figure out, like, okay, how can I reframe my own thoughts and opinions of myself? And so a good question to ask is, am I coming from a place of love right now or fear? And if you're saying things to yourself that you would not say out loud or to another person, recognize that. Ask yourself when you hear these thoughts in your head, would I say this to a spouse or a friend or a coworker or a random person? And if that answer is no, let it go, because it is not worth your time to sit in that space or in that energy. I will touch later on about how our minds are shaped and how our realities are shaped by the things that we choose to ruminate on. So if you're having a lot of negative self-talk, work on that. But remember that perfection isn't the purpose of yoga. This is all a way to reflect on your time here and to evaluate if this is the right use of your time here as a human on earth. The second yama is satya, which is truthfulness. And I always kind of translate it to authenticity, which is something very difficult to hold on to when you are posting on social media or online. It is very easy to get caught up in the rat race. And somewhere in my notes in my yoga teacher training book, I put, don't get caught up in the party trick. That was mainly a note to myself to not to get caught up in what my mind, what my thoughts are. But that kind of works with everything, especially in social media. It is so easy to go down the Instagram yoga model feed and be like, wow, I can't do any of those poses. And I for sure don't look that good when I do that one pose. But comparison is indeed the thief of joy. And if you compare and try to live someone else's truth, that pulls you away from your own authenticity, and you yourself have something to give to this world. Don't ever try to compete in someone else's game. You can only stay true to yourself. The third of the yamas is asteya, which is non-stealing. And that one, in my short, I kind of touched on how I'm chronically late. I have definitely gotten better at that throughout the years. But yes, there's an ongoing joke in my family that I'm like the clutch family member. Whenever we have gatherings, I'm always the last to arrive. So they know that if someone's forgotten forks or ice, they can be like, hey, Sabrina, we forgot. Merp. And they know I'm going to be late anyway, so I can totally stop at the store. So yeah, watch where you might be stealing things that don't belong to you. Are you stealing the moment when someone is trying to share something exciting and you're like, oh my gosh, let's turn this back on me? Or are you stealing someone's time because they're taking time out of the day to meet up with you and you're late? When you're working with a steya, something that you can think of is, what am I taking that's not being freely given? Is there something that I could work on? The fourth yama is brahmacharya, which was a very hard short to do because brahmacharya translates to celibacy. And I mean, come on, we are not aesthetic yogis here. We are not renouncing society and moving to the forest and living off the land, even though that sounds lovely. Most of us are householder yogis. Most of us are here. We have to have jobs. We have to interact with the world. We have to be here and experience all of this. Most of us don't have the opportunity to renounce it because we gotta be here. So naturally, celibacy and brahmacharya has kind of evolved over time to kind of be more along the lines of honoring yourself and others in intimate situations and being mindful about where your energy is going and if that direction is actually worth it. So when you are reflecting on brahmacharya, take some time to be like, is this helping me come back to myself, or is this something that's pulling me further away? Am I getting pulled by the senses and pulled by the party trick externally out there? Or is this something that I can indeed center with myself and bring myself closer to myself? I don't know. And then the last of the yamas is aparigraha. And I have to say, this weekend was me just going aparigraha, 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 on and on, ongoing mantra, because we were clearing out our garage. And in my family, I am the one that holds on to everything. And it's hard. It's hard letting those things go. The few boxes I found this weekend of old baby clothes, and my kid is nowhere near ever being, she's nowhere near a baby right now. She's a big kid. And I still have boxes of like 6-month-old baby clothes. And I'm holding on to them and I can't let them go because it's almost like I'm letting go of that part of my life. This weekend, I spent so much time reflecting on like, why am I clinging so much to this box? And it was because I'm not ready to accept that those days are gone. But rather than look at it that way and like, oh my God, those days are gone, I can reframe this and be like, yeah, those days are gone. They were amazing. But the beautiful child I have is not defined by the clothes that they wore when they were a baby. Kind of like how none of us are defined by the victories or the failures or the things we have and the things that we don't have. We are defined by our actions in this world. We are defined by who we present or how we present ourselves to the world. And that's why I believe the yamas are so important, just because instead of looking at them as like restraints, like, no, 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 don't do it, it's more like a way of evaluating, like, where am I wasting time? Where do my senses pull me? Where can I be kinder to myself and to others, right? So aparigraha is letting go. It's loosening your grip on like, oh my God, I want this. Oh my God, I need that. Instead of just trying to grip on to the moment and cling to it with life, like, oh my gosh, that's my moment. Learn to breathe and kind of loosen your grip. We don't get to control things. No matter how organized we are or how on top of things we are, we have no control over the world. We have no control over what's going on outside of us. And so what we can do is learn how to control our reaction to the world outside of us. And yoga philosophy, it's not about perfection. It's about practice. It is about constantly asking yourself and being inquisitive and kind of learning through trial and error on how you want to navigate this world. If any of this resonated with you, I do hold weekly Zoom meditation classes where I touch a bit on yoga philosophy very lightly, and then we meditate. It's on Zoom and they're free. So please feel free to join me there. And I look forward to meeting with you and working with you and to growing this community with you, because there needs to just be more community, especially now with this world being as crazy as it is. So I'm sending you all my love. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to go release those shorts now. Bye, guys.